Okay, so now we're going to look at the actual get the CSV. All this has been just determining the correct name for the CSV because it changes every day, and also this says specifically registration data, whereas if we go down to the next one, it's going to actually say paid. Okay, so we got to make sure that we're naming it correctly so it goes to the right subdirectory. Okay, so sysimport get CSV execute. Now what this is you'll notice that we didn't spin up an object specifically for this. This is a static method, so we can just call it this way and make it go do its work. Now remember, so look up here and you see sysimport get CSV. This is the one that's going to invoke. So now let's double click on this and go look at what it does. Boom, there it is. And you'll notice that this is static, so we don't actually have to spin up an object to use it. We can just go grab it and run. Okay, now what we're doing here is we're going to go we're going to get an HTTP object. We're going to spin up a request object, HTTP request. We are going to set the header to be character set type UTF-8. Okay. Now this is very important. Salesforce only thinks in terms of UTF-8 character encoding, and the character encoding is very important because if you have people from Japan or Mexico or Germany or France with the umlauts and the accent aigus and the all the crazy high ASCII characters. The only way that those are going to come in intact is if they're properly encoded. And I've tried the initial CSV files that we were receiving were not UTF-8 encoded, and I'll just warn you right now that Salesforce only knows how to manage UTF-8, and even if you specify something different in the header, it simply won't do it. So you simply have to have the source CSVs properly encoded in UTF-8 by some external system, because as far as I can tell, and I could be wrong, but as far as I can tell, Salesforce simply will not tolerate anything except properly done UTF-8. So now that we've specified that in the header, we have specified the endpoint is our file name, which you'll recall we just got finished assembling. And I'll just remind you, I'll go back, and the sysimport file name is the string file name is this whole string here. Okay, that gets passed. Okay, string file name, and then we go get it. We use the get method instead of post, and we go ahead and invoke the request object, and what we get back is res. And the res is the result set, and here you can say get body and get the results of the result set, and then what I do is I put the whole result set into a string, and mind you, this is not an array. This is just a big old string, and then we had some problems with the ends, which are new line. So there's R and there's N, the /R and /N, and first we had to get rid of the ends, the new lines, and then we go ahead and put the incoming array. We chop it up by the hard returns. Okay, so each line gets its own entry in the CSV array, and it's splitting up the incoming string based upon the /R at the end of each entry, at the end of each line. So now, and we're done, by the way. That's it. So that's really the get CSV piece, and this is the call out. Now remember, you can only do 10 callouts to foreign systems under the Salesforce rule set.